Already it's February. Let's see how the East is matching up. You look at the Magic. They're holding the edge for the last playoff slot. I am sure they'd feel better if they could jump up a couple rankings.
And I think for the Magic, they're one of those teams that hasn't quite figured it out this year. A lot of talent, a lot of heart, but nothing to put them up on that next level.
You know, it's got to be frustrating for them, Greg. You can't dwell on the past. You've got to think forward, work together, and play for one another.
Now a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. Then it's Jalen Brunson. And there's Porzingis, and it's Finney-Smith in a power forward. And for the Magic, at the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fournier out there with Fultz, and it's a Wundu in at the 3, the small forward.
Well, you think the ownership style of the Mavericks, something the league had to adjust to. Very active, very outspoken. Sometimes I think that rubbed people the wrong way. But now you get the sense it's almost the new normal.
Here's a Wundu. Down low. Porzingis with the block. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Porzingis. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Fultz the pass to Fournier. And Doncic with a clear path to the hoop. And the basket is good.
I'll tell you, Luka Doncic makes tough shots look easy. Boy, that close to the bucket through that much contact, nice.
And the Mavericks, we know, have been trendsetters, investing in development and in technology.
Kevin, they have always been on the cutting edge of data collection and then using that data to give them a competitive advantage. When you're in a business, it's always about what's next? How can I be better?
Here's Dallas. And Brunson has it in the corner. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic.
You know, there's an unselfishness to Luka Doncic and a pretty pass right there.
Now here's Fultz. He's coming off a 22-point game against Detroit.
And his court vision was extraordinary, too. Let's not forget that. He was flawless passing the ball.
And the foul on Dorian Finney-Smith. That is his first foul of the game.
Ref's calling it close already as he picks up a quick early foul.
First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Magic moving the ball around. Here's a Wundu, guarded by Hardaway. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. About this time of the year, we hear early talk about end-of-the-season awards. When you're thinking about who you'd vote for MVP or whatever, Doris, when do you start giving consideration to those topics?
You know what's fascinating, Kevin, is where all the major awards are considered, particularly the MVP, it feels like there's a narrative that develops back when the season starts. The key as a voter, I think, is to sort of eliminate the noise, look at the numbers, consider the success of teams, and make your decision from there. You've got to make sure you're really doing your research.
And sometimes, am I right, it comes down to the final couple days of the regular season before a voter like yourself knows for sure.
Kev, I have cast my MVP ballot on the last possible day in each of the last 3 years.
Wow. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
An efficient night from the line. This is a guy who puts in the work, and it pays dividends.
Brunson kicks to Finney-Smith. Fournier against Doncic. Again, the Mavericks score.
Well, you want to talk about a picture-perfect jumper. Luka Doncic knows a thing or two about getting into the mid-range.
Outside Fournier. Pass to a Wundu. To the paint. Here's Fultz. And the layup's good off the glass.
Boy, don't you love to see Aaron Gordon make these kinds of decisions. This guy is fully capable of recognizing open teammates.
Now here's Porzingis. Really played well against Sacramento in his last outing. Brunson with it. Poked away. 5 to shoot. Here's Hardaway. Porzingis trying to get free. The shot comes out. Gordon with the defensive effort. Left side Fournier. Hardaway with it. Defended now by Fournier. The wide open look here for Porzingis. And they cash in right away with the quick shot.
80% from the field to start, playing with a ton of confidence.
Here's Fultz. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. Count it. Good.
Well, Markelle Fultz continues to develop his floor awareness. Passes like that will create all kinds of chemistry.
Doncic finds Hardaway. Now Doncic. Another three for Dallas.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
And here's Fultz to the inside. Porzingis with the steal. They're running. Here's Brunson. That shot off. And Orlando will come the other way. Last time they came together was in Dallas, where they fell to the Mavericks.
And they lost a close one last time they saw each other. And you have to think that it was the foul trouble that really kept them from getting the win.
Yeah, some of their starters had to take an early seat on the bench, and that ruined the rhythm and flow they were trying to establish.
Here's Porzingis following the bucket by Orlando. 6 to shoot. Here's Brunson. Vucevic with the rebound.
Well, certainly not the best defensive effort, but this guy can't make them pay for their laziness.
Wandu passes to Vucevic. Now on the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
Well, there's a certain strength that Vucevic possesses, so he can play through the contact and still score. That's nice.
Doncic, no good. And here's Fournier. He brings it up for the Magic. Trailing by 2. Passes it to Vucevic. Now here's Fultz. Not a lot of room. He goes up again. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Let's remember, we're talking about a fundamentally sound player. Nikola Vucevic gifted at fooling defenders with that pump fake.
Well, they say the post-up big man is dead and gone in the NBA, but don't tell that to Nikola Vucevic. An offensive focal point, and he does some of his best work on that low block.
The first free throw is good. And you look at the footwork of Vucevic inside, his moves and counter moves. Terrific.
Shades of Kevin McHale. And that's something he's continued to develop in the pros. A response to defenders who often surpass him athletically.
And it's tied up with that one.
What you love about Nikola Vucevic is every night you know he's going to play hard and he's going to do whatever it takes to win. You love playing with teammates like that, guys.
Porzingis with the ball, and it's Gordon picking him up. And Porzingis, here we go. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Yeah, that's a great setup. Screen the defender off and let him elevate.
Oh, right. And wasn't the timing ideal? My goodness, the D with no chance to react.
The execution was simply flawless. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you run that play.
That's tipped. Fultz looking around. The pass to Fournier. And the foul on Dorian Finney-Smith. That's foul number 2 for him.
Well, just a little too physical out there right now. That's already his second foul.
And Orlando making a change here. Ross is checked in. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Dallas. Now here's Fultz. Just 5 on the clock. Tipped away. Hardaway dishes to Doncic. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Markelle Fultz. That's his first foul.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Curry's checked in for Jalen Brunson. Here's Porzingis. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Listen, offensively, they're very comfortable with him taking that shot. It's a good look under very little pressure. He just can't convert.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Doncic against Ross. Doncic, no good.
Well, defensively, if you allow him to get this close, you're playing with fire. He just happened to miss that one.
Dallas has gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. From the arc, it's hauled in by the Magic. Vucevic has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Outside Fournier. Pass to Vucevic. A miss that time would have put him up. The Mavericks have gone 6 of 13 from the field, just under the 50% mark. 11 feet away. It's hauled in by the Magic. Now Ross still looking for his first bucket in this one. And it's Vucevic. That time on the assist from Ross. And the Magic lead by 2.
Yeah, great anticipation of where the open man was going to be. And Terrence Ross finds him immediately. That's really pretty.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. 7 feet, 260 pounds. Vucevic has a big, strong body with great footwork inside doors, but he doesn't shoot a lot of free throws.
He doesn't, Kevin, and he can struggle at times to finish through contact. If he were a better leaper, I think he'd get to the line more. This guy is just so smart and elusive with his footwork. So this is a big-time player now, make no mistake.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Bamba is checked in for Aaron Gordon. Ennis comes in for Evan Fournier. And Michael Carter-Williams subbed in for Fultz. Dallas also making some changes. Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Porzingis. And it's Wright in for Luka Doncic. Now Ennis after Tim Hardaway missed from long range. Carter-Williams feeling it out a bit. 5 on the clock. Orlando needs to get off a shot. Here's Vucevic. That shot misses. And it's Dallas the other way.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
Dallas moving it around to the middle. Outside for Curry. Outside Hardaway. To end the drought. And he knocks down the jumper. Hardaway has got it all tied up now for the Mavs.
Well, how pretty is the shooting form of Hardaway Jr.? This guy is on point.
Now here's Ennis. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. 2018 rookie class has been something to watch, Doris. Talent at the top, but also some terrific mid-round picks.
You know, no question, Landry Shamet is a guy who I think can be a clutch, big-time scorer who does not seem bowed by any moment, doesn't seem to be affected by pressure. Mitchell Robinson had one of the great shot-blocking seasons in New York Knicks history. I know the team didn't have success, but as a second-round guy, Mitchell Robinson could have an awfully long career.
And the first one drops.
And the Magic, one of those franchises that's still looking for its first title.
And Greg, they've been to the NBA Finals twice, but boy, did they run up against 2 of the all-time great individual closers in history. 1995, Hakeem Olajuwon says no to the Magic. 2009, the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant says, no, sir, I'm getting another championship.
Now here's Curry. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Sacramento. Here's Kleba. Out to the wing. Wide open look here for Cauley-Stein. And the wing jumper offline. And so it's Ross. He brings it up for the Magic. Bamba. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Right outside. Ball's knocked loose. Shot from 12. And Bamba pulls it down.
Boy, a clean, close look. What a missed opportunity.
Shot by Ennis. Nobody around. Offline with his 3.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
Curry on the wing. He's guarded by Ross. Shot from the top of the key. The shot by Curry, no good. And it's the Magic's ball. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Here's Carter Williams. The teardrop falls in. And the Magic lead by 4.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Fast break. Here come the Magic. Hits. Count that one from Ennis. Mavericks trail by 6. Wright looking around. Pass to Kleba. Curry against Carter Williams. It's stolen by Carter Williams. It's stolen by Curry. Now the Mavericks moving it up. A wide open look here for Wright. Got that bucket in no time at all.
I tell you what, they won't be down for long if they can get some more early offense like that.
Carter Williams against Curry. Teardrop shot, and the rejection by Cauley Stein.
You better come stronger than that. Cauley Stein, a presence defensively.
Bamba with the block.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Carter Williams with it. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. With 1 on the clock and some nice defense there to end the quarter. Nikola Vucevic firing on all cylinders for the Orlando Magic. His work on the glass was outstanding in that quarter. Great rebounding. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Kristaps Porzingis grew up in faraway Latvia, but thanks to his brother, developed a passion for the NBA.
My older brother, he was a big fan of NBA always, and he always had pictures of Michael and then Kobe and Shaq, and then we both started watching a lot of NBA highlights. And then later on, 13, 14, Kobe and Powell, you know, I used to watch those guys play a lot.
And Greg, that's something different now for foreign players, isn't it? A lot more exposure to the NBA.
And KP, a fan of the culture. You saw him in cornrows as a kid. I think that helped prepare him for the transition.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far, halfway through the first half in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Magic?
They set a physical tone in the first, and that really showed on the backboard.
I think it's why they hold the lead here early, because they're controlling the flow of the game with those second chance opportunities.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So on the floor for Orlando, they've got Bamba. Carter Williams is out there with Frazier. Then it's Terrence Ross, and it's Birch in at the 4-man position. And that one's good. Right. So for Dallas, their last game a win against the Kings. And here is Carter Williams. Bamba finds Carter Williams. And that one, good. And the Magic lead by 4.
Your heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Frazier against Wright. Passes to Cauley Stein. Dishes to Curry. And there's the pass to Barea. 4 on the shot clock. Buries it from 3-point range. Barea's got himself on the board with 3 there.
That consistency from distance, that's something J.J. Barea has worked on, and you can see the results here.
Ross against Curry. And Maxi Kleba is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Dorian Finney-Smith's checked in for the Mavericks. Carter Williams against Barea. Shot clock at 5. Cauley Stein grabs the board.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
And Finney Smith gets it to go.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Pass to Ross. And the foul on Dorian Finney-Smith. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
3rd foul of the half, and that's the risk you take leaving him out there.
For the Magic, Aaron Gordon comes in for Cam Birch. And Evan Fournier subbed in for Terrence Ross. And Dallas also making a switch. Porzingis is checked in for Maxi Kleber. Dallas on defense. Only giving up 2 points this quarter. And the rejection by Cauley Stein. And gets hacked by the D. He'll go to the line.
Looking now at some numbers for Gordon. He's one of the standouts over the last month. Averaging 17 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Well, fans of this team will take this kind of production from him without hesitation.
I'll tell you, he has been a solid contributor. They have called his number, and he has delivered for them.
No good on the free throw. Of course, you and I were just talking about this as more and more players are going public with their trade requests. Do you think that's had a negative impact on the game?
Well, Kevin, I certainly think it makes long-term planning for NBA franchises a lot more difficult because contractually we are not seeing them hold true to the particular organization they may have signed that contract with. The reality is this in today's NBA. You've got to be nimble as an organization, and you have got to be attractive to them. And I mean that with great ownership, great leadership, and who are the players currently in your system. You have got to be incredibly nimble to be successful in today's NBA.
I think you're right on.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Frazier the pass to Carter Williams. Outside Fournier. From deep. Gordon. And the second chance effort by Gordon. Gordon's got his first bucket in this one.
Boy, there is a will, a drive. Aaron Gordon showing he wants to be more active on the glass.
Gordon against Porzingis. It drops for his 3rd basket. He's missed only 1 shot.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
And Greg, you know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Now here's Carter Williams. 6 on the shot clock. Got a hand on it. And now the fast break. Doncic with the ball. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And you look at Luka Doncic, 6'7", about 220 doors. Is he a point guard? A point forward? I mean, where's he fit?
Well, I think in today's modern NBA, where we talk about positionless basketball, he's the perfect fit regardless of where you put it. He can defend wings, he can defend forwards, and offensively, you want him to be in command of the basketball.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Doncic.
And you look at this Magic roster, so much potential.
I think, Greg, they have done a great job of drafting to the style of play they want to play. Guys who want to get after it on the defensive end. Guys who can switch and slide on the perimeter. Guys who can protect the rim. That is the backbone of this organization.
Both free throws good from Doncic.
Luka Doncic can pass it, shoot it, drive it, and he does it all with great flair.
Pass to Vucevic. Over Porzingis. And it's Vucevic missing.
A contested mid-range shot can't be what they were looking for there.
Well, especially with that defensive player in the area. You know he's going to find a way to get into the shooter and make him uncomfortable.
No problems knocking that one down. Finney Smith's got the lead up to 6 now for the Mavs. And you see some of the shots that Doncic knocks down. Doris, the degree of difficulty is off the charts.
It is, Kevin, but the skill I love the most is his passing. It doesn't matter if it's a hook pass, a lob. He has the strength to hit the weak side corner, and this guy loves delivering in the big moments. It is so fun to watch him.
Now here's Cauley Stein. Markelle Fultz unable to get his last shot to go. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Porzingis can't hit. And here's Fournier. He brings it up for the Magic. 6-point game. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
Yeah, they took advantage of some porous defense in that one. Really got the shots they wanted.
Give them some credit. I'll tell you this, Greg. They caught an opponent on a very off night defensively, and you take advantage. Simple as that.
Doncic. It's good from long range. Doncic has got 12 in the game.
Boy, the quick trigger of Luka Doncic makes him especially dangerous in catch and shoot. Good luck, defender.
Fournier against Doncic. Fournier's shot is off.
Great rim protection to prevent him from converting. Beautiful.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, for Nick Vucevic, there were some great firsts last season. His son Philip was born in December. And then Dad made his first All-Star appearance. Nick is from a basketball family. He said, "I'll enjoy telling my son the stories, like my dad did with me. We'll see if he likes the game of basketball." I think he will. Kevin?
Well, DA, it's certainly in his genes. Thanks for that report.
I'll tell you, if you're not guarding Aaron Gordon tight and getting into his space, he is going to burn you in catch-and-shoot situations.
Porzingis finds Doncic. Another three for Dallas.
It really turned it around here in the second quarter after shooting less than 40% from the field in the first.
Now here's Fultz, guarded by Barea. Knocked loose. Porzingis with the steal. Pass break, Dallas. Finished off the break. And now a 12-point Maverick lead.
Well, after a less than stellar start in the first quarter, you like to see that shot go down.
Now Fultz takes the 13-footer. That's good on the jump shot. Fournier's got his second basket of the game.
Well, this is one of Fournier's go-to shots. Such a strong sense from when to fire from that distance.
On the wing, Doncic. A stupendous finish in traffic. Doncic has got 17 now.
Well, this guy flat out carrying the load for them offensively. He is taking and making good shots. What a terrific job.
And Fournier kicks to Fultz. Porzingis with the block.
Porzingis so fast off the floor when he challenges a shot. Helps him get a lot of blocks like that one.
James Ennis, he'll check in for the Magic. Hardaway's checked in for Dallas. Jalen Brunson comes in for J.J. Barea. Shot clock at 6. Hits. Count that one from Ennis.
The quick hitter from three-point range off the inbound play. They ran that set perfectly.
Outside, Porzingis. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Porzingis has got the lead up to 12 now for Dallas.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
Now here's Ennis. He's got 7. Shoots it in the hoop for his third make from the field. He's 3 for 4 thus far in the contest. Mavericks leading by 10. Passes it to Doncic. Fade away, and another basket for Dallas.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Orlando's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. And it'll be Orlando with their first time out of the game right here.
What a college career for Jalen Brunson. 2 championships and a Wooden Award. This is one of the most decorated players in college basketball history.
Ross is checked in for Fournier. And Dallas with a change here, too. Kleba's checked in. Gordon, the pass to Ennis. Out of bounds. Magic ball as Orlando keeps possession. And Brunson, the College Player of the Year back in 2018, fell to the second round. Doris, when you look at that time, why did he fall?
I think it had everything to do with the fact that he's not an elite athlete by NBA standards. But we know unequivocally Jalen Brunson is a winner. His father played a decade in the NBA. This young man has been around the game since his formative years, and you can see it in his game.
Here are the Magic now, following the score by Dallas. There's the pass to Gordon. Here's Ennis. He's got 9. Clock is at 3. Doncic with the steal. All alone. And the dunk by Doncic.
Anticipating before the play can happen, Luka Doncic gets the break started.
Fultz with the ball. Pass to Ross. Puts up a 3. That will not get it done. He's 0 for 2. Pass to Brunson. Doncic trying to get open.
Well, you want some unselfishness from a guy who's capable of scoring, and Tim Hardaway says, you know what, my teammate's open, I'm going to get him the ball.
Pass to Ross. 1:32 left now here in the second. The Magic again can't hit.
Well, seized up just a little bit at the last second. That's when he normally converts.
Hardaway, no good. The Magic trail by 18. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off. And looking now at some numbers for Vucevic. He's been fantastic over the last 10 games or so, putting up about 18 points per, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. And what is crazy is that these numbers might not even do his game justice. He's been phenomenal.
Feels like every night this guy does something that just blows your mind. So fun to watch, someone the other players look up to.
Ennis misses. Mavericks leading by 18. Hardaway for 3. Drops in the tray. Hardaway has got 5 points so far.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
Fultz kicks to Ennis. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here.
And we haven't seen them get to the line as much here in the second quarter. They might be settling a tad too much offensively.
And it's Fultz with the ball for the Magic. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Inside, Gordon. Off target at the rim.
No matter what looks they get, they just can't convert to stop this run.
And I think you can start to feel their frustration mounting. With every missed bucket, it becomes more and more desperate.
And so it's the Dallas Mavericks sitting on a 21-point lead to end the quarter. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Steve Clifford. Steve, what's the focus going into the second half?
The big thing is they've got so much offense, and they have so many guys who come in and score. You got to play every possession defensively, and it's got to be every single possession.
Coach, thanks very much for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is right here. Say hey to the folks, Kenny.
Hey, folks.
Say hey to the folks, Shaq.
Hey, folks.
Hey, let's get this party started.
Okay.
Luka Doncic has been the story in this one. He had 21 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal. The first 2 quarters tonight looked a lot like what we saw from him in his last game. And Kenny, what are your thoughts on how Dallas played?
And we're seeing there's a certain it factor for Luka Doncic. His supreme confidence in himself, the terrific floor leader, he's turned a lot of people into believers in a very short time.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Magic.
Well, with the way they struggled to defend the three-point line, it started to look like warm-up drills. Do not be afraid to bring more defenders out high. They got to make life tougher on those outside shooters.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. You know, Luka Doncic has been exceptional here, guys.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. And there's Porzingis. Then it's Jalen Brunson. And it's Finney-Smith in at the 4.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
The finish and transition, nice and easy. We know this about the Dallas Mavericks. They will put every piece of data and information to use in terms of trying to get an advantage. Think about it, guys. They are now doing blood tests, trying to head off injury for their players. They believe this gives them a clearer picture into the overall health of their athletes.
And it's Gordon missing. Mavericks leading by 22. Doncic finds Hardaway. Now here's Brunson. Good, and the assist goes to Hardaway. Brunson's got 10 points in the game.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
And Doris, those blood tests you were talking about, always subject to player permission. They want to honor player privacy.
I think you have to, Kevin, and most of the Mavs have embraced it. These tests have the ability to measure almost 50 biomarkers. As an athlete, you're always trying to stay in peak form. As an organization, you're always trying to manage appropriately their workloads.
Now here's Brunson. 10 points for him. No good from Finney-Smith.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Here's Fournier. Porzingis with the block. And it goes out of bounds. That went off Porzingis.
Get open!
Fournier for 3.
Now, I'll tell you, they're going to need more from this guy if they're going to cut into this deficit.
Hardaway with a wide open look. Another 3 for Dallas.
All these threes they're giving up have really been the driving force on this run.
Time called here. The Magic decide to talk it over. And the impact that Porzingis can have on the defensive end, Greg, cannot be overstated.
The reach and leaping ability he has paired with his timing make him a premier rim protector. And what sets him over the top really is that fearlessness. He will challenge anyone and everyone at the rim.
Now here's Fultz. Outside Fournier. Vucevic dishes to Fournier. Clock at 6. Nailed from three-point land. Fournier's got 7 points.
And in getting that 3 to go, he snaps an 11-0 run by Dallas.
The pass to Doncic. And Aaron Gordon gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And Orlando making a change here. Carter Williams is checked in. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Poke loose. Doncic passes to Brunson. No good on the triple.
Boy, he won't miss many from that spot. The defense gets lucky there.
Hardaway against Carter Williams. Pass to Gordon. Over Brunson. It's good from Gordon on the assist from Carter Williams. And it's 6 points for Aaron Gordon.
Well, you have to admire the strength of Aaron Gordon. This guy is adept at finding his way through intense defense.
11 feet away. Nice touch on the bank shot. And it's now 23 points for Luka Doncic.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Ken Burge is checked in for Orlando. And then for Dallas, Curry comes in for Luka Doncic. And it's DeLon Wright in for Jalen Brunson. Fournier's shot is off. The Mavericks have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. Up top, Carter Williams, guarded by Wright. And here is Carter Williams. Vucevic gets double teamed. Right wing. Shot clock at 3. Here's a 1-2. Porzingis with the rebound. Porzingis has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Wright against Carter Williams. And Wright kicks to Finney-Smith. His three-pointers off the mark. And Vucevic has got the ball here for the Orlando Magic. Al Fournier, 7 points in the game. Porzingis with the steal. Wright, the pass to Hardaway. That one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game, now 6 for 10.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly and capitalizing.
Now here's Carter Williams, just 5 to shoot. Knocks it loose. Over Wright. Offensive rebound. Birch. Porzingis with the block. And they're able to recover. Here's Vucevic. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Porzingis.
This guy's so polished inside. Nikola Vucevic, great at being assertive and earning these fouls.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
And you know what? The work he's put in at the line starting to pay off. How about 78% on the season?
Shooting 2.
And that one misses. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
You simply must put a body on this guy. You know he's going to try to get to that glass.
For Orlando, they have shot 70% from the free throw line tonight, 7 for 10.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
Ahmed Bamba, he's checked in for Orlando.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Dallas has gone 4 of 6 from three-point land since the start of the second half. Curry passes to Finney-Smith. Hardaway against Fournier. It's Curry outside, and Bamba pulls it down. Bamba's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Carter Williams. He's off on that one. Now Dallas takes it the other way. And after this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Right, the pass to Cauley-Stein. Since taking over the starting role in 2018, Willie Cauley-Stein has lived up to his draft spot of being number 6, Greg, overall in 2015.
And you knew that a big man like Cauley-Stein would take a few years to develop, but at a legit 7 feet and great length, he is everything you could hope for in a starting center.
That free throw, no good. Rush, do you have high hopes for the new draft lottery system to keep every team competitive to the very end of the season?
Well, one of the keys in implementing this new draft lottery system was to make sure that the bottom 3 teams were given equal opportunity to get that top draft choice. I think you did see it have some effect on play and teams trying to be competitive while understanding they're still going to have an opportunity to build their team through the draft. But here's the reality. The NBA has got to be under review constantly. There's a process in play. It's one of the most proactive leagues in the country in terms of always looking for little things to make sure their game is the best it can be.
Attention to detail. Well said.
There is an imagination, a creativity. This guy's passing drives the offense.
Up top, Carter Williams, guarded by Curry. And here we go with Curry running it up the court. Finney-Smith passes to Wright. Here's Finney-Smith. Now Cauley-Stein. He's guarded by Ross. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Finney-Smith. 3-pointer. And Bamba pulls it down.
Boy, what a nightmare quarter for this guy. He's playing right into the hands of the defense at this point.
Carter Williams, the pass to Bamba.
Well, you talk about physical gifts for the game. Mo Bamba, a 7-footer with the longest wingspan, 7'9½", and that gives him a huge spear of influence.
He's 0 of 2 at the line in this one.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
Well, Mo Bamba is the prototypical modern NBA big, right? The size combined with the shooting ability.
Ennis, he's checked in for Frazier. He's off on the second. The Mavericks have gone 8 of 14 on their shot attempts here in the third. Some pretty nice work. Finney-Smith passes to Curry. Bamba with the block.
Well, this is one of Bamba's big-time strengths. Send it back, Mo.
Ennis kicks to Carter Williams. Passes it to Ross. Lets the 3 fly. The Mavericks pull it in. Kleber's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Greg, you look at Bamba able to touch the rim while still on the ground. And he gets off the ground pretty well, too.
A good athlete, still getting stronger and developing his feel for the game. But he has something you just can't teach.
Here's Birch. Bamba in the high post. Ross for 3. And Curry pulls it down.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
11 feet out, and he hits it. Curry's got his first basket of the night.
Well, as reliable as it gets from the mid-range. Seth Curry very good at finding those opportunities in those spaces.
Carter Williams, the pass to Bamba. They get a hand on it. Now here's Cauley-Stein. 5 points in the game. And the pass to Finney-Smith. Outside Curry. 5 on the clock. Stein dishes to Curry. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And a quick look here at some of the numbers for Porzingis.
And with the rise in his true shooting percentage these past 10 games, it's clear that he is feeling very good about the state of his game. We'll see if he has another steady performance in him here tonight.
For Orlando, they have gone 9 of 13 from the line.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first. Mavericks making a switch here. Berea's checked in. Williams hits them both. And so it's Berea with it. They'll bring it up for the Mavericks. Oh, that's blocked. But they recover it. Curry finds Wright. Second chance shot. And it's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here. For the Magic, Aaron Gordon, he's checking in for Kem Birch. And it's Fulton for Michael Carter-Williams. Here's Curry. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game.
Boy, had this shot on automatic. The confidence so crucial to what Seth Curry brings to the table.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, last season the G League tested out an expansion of the clear path rule. And now that expansion is making its way to the NBA. It should discourage those intentional fouls that slow up teams on the fast break. Fans wanted it, and analysts clamored for it. And that will allow the amazing athletes in this league more opportunities to show what they can do on the fast break.
You're right, David. A welcome change. Thank you. Doncic is checked in for the Mavericks. That free throw good from Ross. Now in his 6th season in the NBA, hard to believe Aaron Gordon is still just 24 years of age.
Not much older than some rookies coming in. You wonder what his ceiling will be.
Well, Orlando's shooting a pretty brutal 29% since the break. Here's Fultz, and the rejection by Stein. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Markelle Fultz. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Jalen Brunson, he's checked in for DeLon Wright. .133 left in the 3rd quarter of the game. It's blocked.
Boy, his vertical makes Terrence Ross an A+ shot blocker for his size. This guy, his main duty's on the perimeter, but he'll get his share of blocks.
Now here's Ross, and he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
No doubt those extra possessions can really add up against you when you do not take care of the defensive glass.
Stein kicks to Brunson. Pass to Berea. There's the triple. Orlando grabs the miss. Ennis taking his time here. He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And you know what? The work he's put in at the line starting to pay off. How about 78% on the season?
Shooting 2.
he knocks down the first one. Porzingis is checked in for Dallas. And Ennis drops them both. 41 seconds left to play in the third. Outside, Porzingis. Barea against Ross. Pass to Doncic. Outside for Barea. Another shot. Brunson, no good. The Magic shooting about 33%. Not happy with their play on that end. Here's Fultz. Takes the 12-footer and hits. Fultz has got his second bucket of the night.
Boy, Markelle Fultz in the open floor, capitalizing on the defense's mistake. Nicely done.
Passes to Porzingis. From deep three-point range, and so it's Dallas. Riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. We come back right after this. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Gordon and Bamba, the combo inside. Fultz and Ross pair up to make the backcourt. And it's a 1-2 in at the small forward. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Magic. Now, Doncic, following the three-point attempt by Aaron Gordon. Back to Doncic. The three. Ross grabs the board. Ross has got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Fultz. The pass to Gordon. No good with the triple. Mavericks leading by 23. You know, Doris, you and I love history. And we were talking the other day, you and I, about Bill Russell and his 11 championship rings. You think anyone's ever going to break that record?
I think it'll be close to impossible, Kevin, and the reason is, number one, there were so many fewer teams back then for Bill Russell, in no way diminishing the greatness of one of the game changers, both between the lines and outside the lines. Bill Russell will always be an historic figure, but it's very tough to compare eras. There's now 30 teams, nutrition, conditioning, coaching. There's just so much more information in the current era.
So it's Orlando now, following Porzingis' three over Hardaway, and Gordon gets it to go in on the assist from Fultz. Fultz has got assist number 5 here tonight. Doncic passes to Hardaway.
I got yours.
Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. And Brunson has it in the corner. Another 3 for Dallas.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it, Greg? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone. You know, you have to like that he's still getting quality touches and delivering now after getting blanked in the first half.
Porzingis finds Doncic, and the foul called on Terrence Ross. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
Clark, he's checked in for the Magic. Johnson comes in for Terrence Ross. Then for the Mavericks, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is checked in for Maxi Kleber. Justin Jackson comes in for Hardaway, and it's Lee in for Luka Doncic. Here's a look at the schedule now for Dallas. On Saturday, they'll continue the road trip, heading out to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. Then on Monday, they'll take on Karl Anthony Towns and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
You know, some might look ahead at the schedule and start marking off how many wins they'll wind up with, but I think that's a trap. You can't take any nights off in the NBA, and you've got to stay in the moment.
Doris, in basketball, like many sports, you can call some kind of penalty on almost every play. So with that in mind, where do we draw that line?
I would say that most coaches and most players would say as long as there's consistency with officiating, they can adapt to the way the game is being called. As fans, as broadcasters, what we want to see the game remain free-flowing, fluid, pretty, the ability to move and cut and not be impeded in your progress. That's what I want to see.
And we see that most nights.
No doubt.
Here's a 1-2. Clock at 4. This one for 3. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
In that first half, guys, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes as they have here in the second, trying to use that shot to stay in the game.
Now here's Porzingis. Fades away. 2 points. That one goes. Porzingis has got 5 points now this quarter.
Not shot from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Got a piece of it, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Doncic. And the Mavericks making a change here. Hardaway's checked in.
Set it up, get open, he's free.
On defense, the Mavericks.
Pull the trigger.
Here's a 1-2. 6 to shoot. Fultz with the ball. From deep. It's rebounded by Doncic. Doncic has got his 5th rebound in this one. To the wing on the left. 4th quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. 2 open that time. Made it look too easy. Doncic has got 26.
There you go. That's the stroke we saw in the first half.
Fournier passes to Vucevic. Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Why do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure, whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev. There is so much to love about Kristaps Porzingis. Over 7 feet, sweet shooting jumper, but aggression. This guy will back down from no one.
And the first one at the line is good. And Doris, Porzingis not only quick to adapt to the NBA game, but also the culture.
I think it helps, Kevin, that he got tutored in the English language starting in grade school. And think about it, Kevin. This man wore his hair in cornrows back then, emulating the NBA players he saw. So both linguistically, culturally, and basketball-wise, it wasn't too big an adjustment for him.
And they're drawing more whistles and working their way to the line here in the second half.
And the foul called on Tim Hardaway Jr. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Left side, Gordon. And that one is off. And it's Dallas the other way. Fades back. Here's Porzingis. He can't hit that time. Gordon with the defensive effort. Here's Frazier. And some very quick points for him on that possession. Here's Curry. Doris, all right, this is going to come out of the blue here, but if you had to choose between raising the height of the basket or widening the floor or even widening the lane, which would it be?
I have very strong feelings on this, Kevin, and for me it would be widening the floor. And the reason I say that is it feels to me in the last couple of years there are more sideline violations where teams are turning it over because they're trying to get to that corner three, one of the most advantageous, best shots in today's game. But because that three-point line is so close to the sideline out of bounds, we're seeing too many violations. So if I had to choose between one or the other, I would absolutely widen the floor.
And being over the limit this early really can affect your aggressiveness defensively. They have got to play under control.
That free throw good from Porzingis.
Well, what a pleasure to have a 7-footer who you can play through, because Kristaps Porzingis, that nice shooting form carries over to the free throw line. That is crucial.
Vucevic checked in for the Magic. Fournier comes in for Frazier. The Mavericks also with a sub. Lights checked in. And both free throws good for Porzingis. And so it's Carter Williams. He'll bring up the ball for Orlando. They'll be off to Brooklyn for a meeting with the Nets after this one. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. Pass to Vucevic. There's the three. No good there. For Dallas, they've gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting at even 50% from the field. Curry kicks to right. And here's Porzingis for a three. Dallas, no good that time either. Orlando's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on three-point attempts here in the fourth. And here is Carter Williams. Pass to Vucevic. Count it, number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11.
Well, the post-game, the jump shot, Vucevic, a capable scorer who loves taking over on the offensive end.
Here's Finney Smith. Here's Curry. Count it from 12.
Make no mistake, this guy is not just a three-point threat. Seth Curry making shots from anywhere.
Al Fournier. Remember the time, Doris, when it was rare to see stars changing teams? Now we read about it every day.
No question, Kevin. Think back to my formative years watching the NBA as a fan. Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Magic Johnson was a Los Angeles Laker. The trend in today's NBA is that shorter player contracts, more player control over where they want to be. And the reality is this, Kevin, at some point, free agency entered the equation. It's appropriate, it's fair, they've earned the right to choose where they play.
Clark, he's checked in for Vucevic. Dallas also making some changes. Kid Gilchrist, he's checked in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Justin Jackson comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Barea subbed in for Curry. Here's a 1-2. He kicks it to Ennis. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Pass to Carter Williams. Shoots over Barea. The Magic again can't hit. Dallas has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. Jackson misses.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Out of bounds, Dallas takes possession.
And this is like another case of Murphy's Law right now, and it's been their own doing, really, just like we saw there.
And Orlando making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Doris, we've both been very public in our admiration for LeBron, the face of the league, for so many years. When he retires, and we're approaching that date, who do you think might step up and take his place as the face of the NBA?
Well, probably the most likely candidate is the new and reigning MVP, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is an absolute physical force. He's put on 50 pounds. He's getting more and more skilled. When he adds that three-point shot as a consistent weapon and gets to an in-between game, he will be impossible to guard. Kawhi Leonard, he is now sort of taking over as a multi-time winner of the Finals MVP, and certainly a player guys want to play with. So just a couple of possibilities there, Kev.
Here's Carter Williams. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist making his last shot. Carter Williams, the pass to Ennis. Johnson outside, takes the three. Good on the triple. Johnson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three.
Such a boost to this offense when this guy can knock down uncontested threes.
And Michael Carter Williams gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line.
And not the guy you want to send to the line. He has been automatic.
First one falls for him. Doris, we know historically the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a four-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number one, the salary cap implications that happen. Number two, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well positioned for a three-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship. Luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals. This is it's challenging enough to go back-to-back. Forget about four-peat.
And so it's Dallas with it. The Magic knocking down the tray. Knocked away. It's stolen by Ennis. Here's a 1-2. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls, so Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Vucevic checked in for Kem Birch. Aaron Gordon comes in for Clark. Terrence Ross is checked in for Ennis. And Markelle Fultz is subbed in for Johnson. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Doris, in 2004, the Charlotte Bobcats became the NBA's 30th team. When do you think we're going to see another team added, whether it's an expansion or even multiple expansion cities?
Well, let's go directly to the most important source, and that's Commissioner Adam Silver, who has said that expansion is inevitable, but right now not a huge priority. So, listen, we've heard Seattle is on the short list of cities that wants to get a team, and what a great city, what a great NBA fan base. I hope someday we get back to Seattle.
So much history up there. You're correct. To the middle, here's Vucevic, and slam dunk by Vucevic.
Vucevic knows who he is. This guy is a close scorer, legit threat to finish it with authority.
Runs in the pass to Porzingis. Outside Curry. Now the pass to Porzingis. Oh, my goodness!
Wow.
What a play!
Don't sleep on his athleticism now. Porzingis plays well above the rim.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Mavericks.
As one-sided as it gets today, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And on the year, this will turn out to be win number 34 for them.
A 2-game season series. They win them both and complete the sweep.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Porzingis.
Boy, his activity really stood out to me on the defensive end. He harassed ball handlers, came up with steals in transition. You had the feeling guys were looking over their shoulder, worried he was going to pick their pocket.
Curry with it. Now guarded by Fultz. Intercepted. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. A one-do. And they call the foul, so he's got the and-one chance here to make it a three-point play.
How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
One shot.
It's been all Mavericks. And guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
They have earned this win.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Lee outside. Off with the layup. So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. KP, you guys got out on a break tonight. How did you get into transition so easily?
Yeah, we want to play faster, and that's what we try to do whenever they miss. We try to run, move the ball quick, and get easy buckets.
And you were able to beat them down the floor tonight, KP. Thanks a lot for your time. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.
you